The night the Tories won an overall majority with that surprise Labour defeat, Cameron and Samantha celebrated his newly acquired 24 seats out in Mayfair. Hand in hand, him in his open neck shirt showing off his lacquered chest hair, and her a vision in a red cocktail dress. And the Telegraph described their smiles and relaxed stroll through the doors of a private members' dining club that prides itself on providing a first-floor roof terrace perfect for a late-night post-prandial cigar. And on the same night, the family over the road from me were evicted, standing in the street with their belongings, 2 whole suitcases between the 6 of them. But for 6 weeks, we'd all seen the immigration enforcement van circling, doing the rounds round these terraced streets of bag butts and UKIP posters. I'd noticed that the groups of Polish street drinkers had found somewhere new to down their cut-price lagers. I'd seen them less on my walks into town, on my way out for dinner, the pub or the theatre. God, how lovely to be this white middle-class 20-something working in the arts sector who probably, if she really wanted to, could scrape enough cash to make it out of this area. How awful to be the Korean dad 2 doors down from me who always says hello and tries to speak enough to create something that we might call a conversation, but whose English hasn't improved in a year, who's not entitled to any benefit payment safety net and can't find an employer willing to take a chance on him, whose sons are getting steadily angrier by the day at the way their future's headed and the state their lives are in. And every 5th window they pass down our street holds up an image of Farage, telling them that they're not British. Thank God they can't read the headlines, increasingly making it clear that they are not welcome here. But Cameron's out for dinner in Mayfair, and the Daily Mail tell us that Osborne joins him for a drink a little later. And maybe when Samantha's left the table for a moment, they'll share a joke about all the places like this one that they and all the Bullingdon lads used to smash up together. And what makes it all the funnier is that the electorate don't realise or just don't care or just love their caddish humour, so have elected him again for another 5 years as their Prime Minister. And I was driving back from Loughborough. Having knocked on doors until 2 minutes to 10, we had 2 minutes of blind hope and blissful ignorance that maybe we'd done it. Worked hard enough to at least kick Nicky Morgan out and convinced enough doorstep faces that this country could be so much better if we got behind a party that believes this stronger when we work together. And then, in a way that must have tempted every kind of fate, we drove home in the dark, naively singing along to Things Can Only Get Better. We counted down the seconds to the exit polls, and then a student in the back of my car I'd only met that morning looked at his phone and said, "Oh my God." Later that night, I was predictably hysterical, and my mum said down the phone to me, "Jess, we have been here before. In 1992, we had 13 years of them, and I went to bed thinking Kinnock had done it, that we were free of the Tories, woke up the next morning to John Major grinning down the telly at me. And I know it feels hopeless, like the bottom of your world has fallen out and given up, but it's pointless to wallow for too long on how terrible this is. So don't be sad, be angry, and turn this into something positive." So from here on in, I have made myself some promises, like I want to read more about everything I can. I won't let headlines slide by on a Twitter timeline the same way the Tories use major public events to disguise their worst crimes, like when they used the Queen's Jubilee to hold the public in a net so that we wouldn't notice the slip-through of the health bill that sold off another bit of our NHS. I want to make more of an effort to actually put my phone down in the pub and talk to people about the stuff that makes me angry, especially the quiz team who sit opposite us, who spent a month saying how much they hate the Tories, but when polling day came, they couldn't see the point in voting. I want to campaign with the same energy as when I was 9 and I wrote a letter to my local Waitrose. It was a 3-page note about the plight of Greek cork farmers when Western wine producers started replacing cork for plastic. And 17 years on, I am still baffled and have no understanding how we live in a country that has such little social conscience. And it's okay for me, with my job and my savings account and my network of friends and family, but for a lot of people, the next 5 years must look bleak and mean and horribly scary. So now is the time to learn the names of our neighbours and invite them round for cups of tea, to join a union if you're able to stay informed, campaign and protest, donate a little time and money to charity, make lists and share skills, get the contact details of your local MP, share stuff on Facebook and retweet, ask for help and give it back, check your mates are okay and stock up the food banks, find organisations that help folk and dig out stuff you never use and give it away, stare the Murdoch empire dead in the eye and demonise them right back. The same way they forced every non-middle class white man to take the flak for mistakes made by suited up bankers and made this country fear itself and everyone else. So turn the tables. Take back the hatred, the fear, the nastiness and the dread. Shine a light on every trick they try, and in 5 years' time let them have not one shred of doubt that we are coming back for them. And this time we will get them out.